everyone, and welcome back. And we're going to do a drill with me today. It has been a pretty good week so far, and I am moving right along on this. I am almost done with the first two rows. So I thought we would sit here and chat and talk about everything that's been going on this week. And I have some things I want to talk to you guys about. So let's have fun and diamond paint, craft, cross stitch, whatever. Oh, goodness gracious. It's been a pretty good week, as I said. We, I feel better than what I have. I, allergies suck. Let's put it that way. Allergies suck big time. I don't like them. Never have. My, son's boyfriend, my daughter's boyfriend, excuse me, not son, my daughter's boyfriend was, I asked him the other night, his mom does this like thing for natural remedies or whatever you call it, and I asked him to find out what I could do for allergies, especially if I didn't have the medicine, allergy medicine. So he last night he was telling me about something that his mom uses. So he's going to bring that to me this week. It's something that you roll on your wrist. I forget what he called it. He told me and I forget now. It was late last night. I don't remember, but he told me and I forget what exactly it's called. And so he's going to get that from her and bring it over, and he's going to let me try it and so forth. He says it's supposed to work, and whereas you don't have to worry about, the sniffles or anything like that all day. So that's, that's what I need, because it's a pain in the butt. I've been having to blow my nose constantly. And no, it's not a cold. I thought it was, but it's not. And I've been sneezing like crazy. And I know what a cold feels like, and it's definitely not a cold. So I hopefully this will work. At this point, I'm at the point now. Okay, whatever. So that is the good news about that, which thank God I don't have to worry about it. But or thank God I'm yeah, it's early in the morning, guys. Sorry. um so yeah, we're kind of, and it's one thing I don't like. I've never had to deal with allergies before. It's just I've never ever had that issue, so I didn't know what really to do. And of course my mother, she just kind of, didn't really give me any kind of um advice on that point, but she just told me, that I never had allergies when I was little, but or younger, but my body can change and so forth. And okay, so that's our, but I'm going to use it for Justin, or not Justin, Skylar, and Miranda also, because we all three of us have allergies. Justin doesn't have them. Justin hasn't had allergies, and I've never seen him. He's never complained about allergies, so I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed on that one, that we don't have that problem, because let me tell you, it's not any fun. It's just really, really, ugh. It's annoying, and there are days that it can make you feel like poop. And I have been feeling like poop lately, off and on, and I'm trying to just like ignore it. And I've been because my throat, when I'm sneezing or whatever, and what was I doing? Oh, and but I've been drinking, lots of stuff to keep me hydrated just in case, because I don't want to get sick. But I don't think, like I said, it's not. So, which is a good thing. Yeah, I'm just running around in circles this morning, so bear with me. I'm kind of out of it, not because I feel bad or anything, because I don't. It's early in the morning, and um, I'm just kind of all over the place. So if I go off on a different subject, just bear with me, because, yeah, it's been, but, and, last night we, got a phone call from Sky School telling us hybrid learning was going to start. Now, I don't know what that really means. And, but they kind of explained that the kids could come to school Monday or Tuesday or Thursday and Friday. Now, the way they're making it sound is we get to choose um, whether or not, they want to do the hybrid, or, keep them home for the virtual. And as adamant as Skylar has been about going back to school, he and I were talking last night, and this is one of the bad things about him wearing a mask. And I've noticed that this happens to him. Now, I don't know if he's allergic or if it's just because he's hot-blooded. I don't know. But he's been getting heat bumps if he wears a mask for a long period of time. He gets them up on his side of his face, um, and all around his mouth because of the mask. So I asked him last night, I said, I told him what they decided to do, that in November, at the end of November, they were going to start, the hybrid thing, the hybrid learning, where they could go back to school if they wanted to. And at first he was like, well, I do. And then I said, well, you're going to have to wear a mask all day long. You're not going to be able to, like, hug your friends or be close to them. You're going to have to be social distance from them. Well, he kind of just went, he didn't like that idea. I mean, yes, he wants to go back, but, then again, so he says, so what? I have to wear a mask all day? And I said, yes. And he says, Mommy, I get heat bumps. And I said, yes, I know. I said, so, you know, let's think about it, and we'll see. Well, he came out and he says, I don't want to do that. I said, do what? And he says, I don't want to go back. He says, I do, but I don't want to go wear a face mask all day and then come home with heat bumps on my face. Which I can't say I blame him, because, you know, when he gets heat bumps, it ends up looking like hives. And he gets hives, and he's, and of course, oh, that's an allergy, but he gets hives. He can't even be around Gain, any Gain product, like Gain dishwashing soap, Gain laundry detergent, the beads that you can put in the washing machine. He can't even be around those. He gets hives like you wouldn't believe. And so I told him, I said, well, what do you want to do? And he says, I'll just do the virtual learning. And I said, but he says, but how's that going to work? And the way that I'm taking the understanding is that he will be still virtual learning, but he will be able to see all the friends that are at school. So I guess they're going to do, a Zoom with all his friends, with those, yeah. They're gonna have the classroom, and I guess he'll be able to see his friends that are in the actual classroom, along with, the ones that are doing virtual learning at home. So he's kind of, and I missed two symbols of this color. Um, but I told him, I said, well, we're just going to see what they say, and um, then we'll go from there. Well, then he came out Monday and told me that there is another, his teachers had told him, or told the class, that there was another um, book bag of supplies at the school. So I have to go over there and get that from the school at some point. So that's my little goodness. Which, in a way, I'm glad that they're trying to bring everybody back to the school. And but then again, there's still cases. Now, I don't know about here in, our county and over here on our side of the state, but I know that there's still cases in the state. It's just, I don't know. So we're kind of just, going by, well, why am I having issues here? We're just kind of, going by whatever. And we'll see. It's just, but I'm kind of glad that they're letting us choose what we want, choose to whether or not we want to send our kids to for hybrid, or if we want them to stay home. I didn't know that they were going to do this until I think it was the last month when they were talking about it, because one of my neighbors was telling me that the school had called her, and her son is in kindergarten, and the school had called her to um, let her know that they were going to start sending, um, that kids could start coming back to school. Well, she just had a baby. So, she's kind of not, she's kind of nervous about, sending her son to school, which I can't say I blame her. Um, so she's kind of, and I'm kind of, and then, I told her last night, I said, well, at least they're letting us have the choice of whether or not we want to send our kids back. And the other thing about the whole hybrid thing is, if our kids had a laptop from the school, they are to take that to school every day. And that was another reason that I was kind of not wanting to send him to school, because number one, that laptop is heavy and he doesn't have anywhere to put it. And I just kind of, I don't know. There's just a lot of advantages, or a lot of pros and cons to the whole situation. And, my dad was standing here in front of me. He'd probably tell me, your son needs to be at school. He needs to go. I just, I just don't know. I just, there's a lot of pros and cons to this whole thing. And, which is, I think when any major decision that you have to make, and I've been sitting here all day and all morning, just like, thinking about it, like, could I send him back? But then again, I know how, what would happen if I did, and he had to wear a mask all day, and his face would be there would be bumps all over his face, and it's just, there's a lot of things. And I know, people probably tell me, suck it up. He's going to have to deal with it. And okay, but that's all fine and good. But, there are kids that aren't used to wearing their masks all day. And, no, we don't wear our masks in the house. We did at the beginning for social distancing because, number one, I'm high risk anyway because of my age. But it's, there's a lot to it. And I'm just not going to, make my son do something if he doesn't want to do it. And I'm not going to make him wear his mask, especially if, he was the one that said, Mommy, I could get the heat bumps on my face. And, and he knows that when that happens, it usually ends up um, looking like hives. So we're just kind of, going to see what happens. To me, truthfully and honestly, I really don't think these kids need to go back to school yet, but that's just my opinion. And, what they say about opinions, everyone has one. But at this point, it's it's I'm just glad they're letting us make the choice, because I don't think I'm really, really ready to send him yet at all, because I just don't. Yeah. So that was our, big thing this week. And he's been and I apologize, my voice sounds funny this morning. I'm still trying to wake up, even though I've been up since 7 o'clock. So I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. um that was kind of our little thing this week, trying to decide, what we're going to do. And then tomorrow night, not tomorrow night, Friday night, Miranda and John, her boyfriend, are going to take Skylar to a an event for, forget what it's called. They told me, I forget what it's called, but I'm not sure. I think it's something to do with superheroes. I forget what it's called. See, I'm awful when it comes to remembering these kinds of events. Um, and I don't remember what it is. But he does. I thought he was going to have to dress up, but no, he doesn't have to. So he he gets to go, and I guess he's gonna. He's gonna. He didn't. John didn't really say. They didn't really tell me, exactly what kind of stuff they would be doing over there. So, but it's not that far away. And Skylar really wants to go, so he's all excited about that. And I told him yesterday. I said, "Well, it all depends on how you feel, because he's been feeling gross. His his allergies kind of made him feel really, really bad yesterday, and he woke up with um, normal, allergy crap. And then he was just like, Mom, I don't feel good. I'm just, he was tired, basically. So I gave him some allergy medicine, and he, I told him, I said, I'll come back in time to get you up for school. Well, this poor child was knocked out. There was no way I could get him up. So I just left him in bed, and he'll be, mm, he's back there now doing all the schoolwork that he didn't get to do yesterday. And, of course, he's not thrilled about that whole idea either, but he'll be all right. He's just, mm. So, what else has been going on around here? Um, okay, I was watching the news this morning. I've kept my mouth shut, um, for a while now about a whole bunch of stuff, and I haven't really been watching the news because, like I've said before, I just can't. It was getting depressing. And I was watching CBS this morning, and they had Breonna Taylor's boyfriend on as for an interview. And I think it's going to be like a 2-day thing because today was just him, and tomorrow is uh, his, I think it's his lawyers. I think that's what it is. Anyway, I was sitting there this morning, and I was, drinking my coffee, and I'm sorry. I don't understand this, okay? He went through the whole, the events of the whole day, and I know this is probably old news to you, but yeah, and again, I don't usually talk about stuff like that because I don't want to offend people, but I just, after watching this interview this morning, it kind of compelled me to, like, you know, say something. I was watching the interview, and no, like I said, I didn't really pay attention to, the news during all of this from March until now. I have never really, paid attention to, the whole Breonna Taylor story. And, um, so I was, again, I was watching him. He was talking to Gail on CBS this morning. And I have to say, I am very, very shocked at the events that led up to this whole thing. First of all, I know from experience because, the police have knocked on my door plenty of time. Not for anything I've done wrong, but, just other thing. And when they knock, they're loud. And then I've done this before. When they've knocked on my door, even when I've known they're coming, I don't, I ask who it is. I don't open my door. I ask who it is before I open it. And they identify themselves. See, that's the thing I couldn't get through all of this is, they're sitting there minding their own business, playing Uno, watching a movie, and the police knock on the door, and then, then they don't really answer. Then they bust the door open, and then all hell breaks loose. And no, none of the police officers come in after the fact. They just leave her there with him. It blew my mind. I just sat here, and I was like, seriously? And I was kind of just, I was in shock. Because, I know for a fact that if a police officer bangs on your door, regardless of whether or not you have a freaking warrant, or if they bust in and they come in and they say who they are. And they showed the videotape, some of the video. And again, I am just so disappointed in those officers' actions. And no, not every police officer there's not, they're not all bad. But when I watched this, it just, it blew my mind. It really did. It blew my mind. I was kind of, you know, I didn't even know how to react. And all I can say is I'm very, very angry that these officers are not going to be um, disciplined or what have you for what they did and not identifying themselves. Yes, they said they did, but from what I saw this morning and the 911 tape that they let out, that that they played today, they didn't identify themselves. I mean, come on, really? I mean, granted, this was all for a warrant that was, and that they goofed up. The police goofed up, but yet they couldn't even freaking apologize and admit that they goofed up. Yes, one of the officers did come to him after the fact, but my point is, okay, you're you but you bust the door down and then you realize after the fact that the address on the warrant is wrong, and you can't even go and apologize to this man who's sitting there, basically upset because number one, his girlfriend's been shot. Number two, you know, he's being charged for something that he shouldn't even be charged with. And number three, you know, it's all stupid. It's all crazy. And I feel really, really, bad for this whole, for him and her family. So anyway, that's my thing. It just bothered me, and it kind of, it just left me sitting there going, all morning, because it just bothered me a lot. And I think it's just, it's, it's sad and it's wrong. And it really ticks me off that, these police officers can't accept and take responsibility for what they did. It blows my mind away. And they can't even apologize to her family, and especially to him. Okay, enough said on that one. I'm sorry. I needed to bring that out this morning. That was, and I don't, like I said, I don't usually talk about anything that happens on the news, and I keep my mouth shut. And I just keep my, there's a lot of reasons that I don't voice my opinion on that. And the last time I voiced my opinion about something like that, I was put down because number one, I live in Section 8 housing, and number two, I was called all sorts of names. So I just kind of just don't. I probably should, because I see a lot of, a lot of, I've watched a lot of YouTube and other things, people voicing their opinion. Maybe I should start doing that every now and then. I don't know. I just don't, I don't know. It just bothered me. So I'm sorry, guys. That was just something that was bothering me this morning that I thought I needed to share with everybody, because it's just kind of, it's sad. I mean, this girl, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not mistaken, she was an EMT, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another thing that kind of blew me away, that, I don't know. Anyhow, Okay, enough about that. It's just going to get me all off on a tangent, and I'm just not any more than what I already am, and I just don't want to offend anybody else. So I'm sorry, but that was just my thing this morning that I needed to talk about. Goodness gracious. So, um, hmm. So it's been kind of, like I said, this week has been pretty good around here. Um, we are, um, it's getting colder outside. My gosh, I went outside this morning. Huh, I thought I was going to freeze my butt off. And I had to go to the store. And I didn't realize that it was like 40 some degrees outside. And of course, Justin went with me. Justin didn't say a word. He never said anything. So I'm like, holy crap, it's colder than poo-poo outside. And of course, I looked at him and I said, dude. He's like, what? I said, you didn't even tell me it was this cold. And he's like, well, I didn't know. Okay, whatever. So, and I didn't know. So it was kind of like, okay, didn't know. Oh, shoot. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My oldest daughter was calling to tell me thank you. Um, those of you that know, I have an older daughter, Ariel, and I don't talk about her very much because she lives in North Carolina, and we don't, not that we don't have a relationship because we do, but we don't talk a lot because she's always busy and so forth. And so she called me the other night, and, or no, she texted me and asked me if I could help her a little bit this month. And I used to get really, really tired of always constantly sending her money. And so, she told me, oh my gosh, like 3 or 4 months ago that, I wouldn't have to worry about it because she was moving in with, she'd met somebody and they've been dating for a while now. And so, she was excited. Well, he asked her to move in with him. And, she kind of had, some kind of, she felt some kind of way about it because she got burnt in the past with the guy that she was dating before that, they bought a house together, blah, blah, blah. That is a long drawn out story that, you guys don't need to know about, or, I've told it before. And, so she, she had called me, or no, she texted me and asked me if Miranda's boyfriend could send her $20 so that she could put gas in the car. She just bought a new car. She's got a really nice new car, and she's kind of strapped now, and it's even more so now that this guy and her are not together anymore. So anyway, I sent her some money this morning, and he and her broke up. Well, I didn't know that he and her broke up. Had no clue. Well, um, she's basically homeless. She's moved in with him, and she's been sleeping in, um, he has a son, and she's been sleeping in the playroom and, um, just away from him. And like today, I could tell this morning, just a few minutes ago, that she's still kind of out of it. And I told her, I said, well, I gave her mommy advice and so forth. And, she's been having a really, really hard time with this. And the first thing she asked me, after, in our conversation was, Mom, what's wrong with me? And I said, honey, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, there is if these guys don't want me. And I said, honey, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you whatsoever. And she just kind of like, can't tell it. And there's really not much I could say or do. It just kind of bothers me because I can't give her a hug. She's 5.5 hours away from me. I can't hug her and say, I can't just run over there and be mommy and take care of everything. And that's one thing that's been bothering me uh, the last couple of days, because there's nothing I can do. I mean, I can't like go over there and kiss it and make it better. And that's what I told her. I said, it makes me feel bad because I can't do anything about it. And you won't let me, and you won't let me. So she's trying to deal with it. And I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I mean, she had to stop. She was going to school to be a nurse. She was going to nursing school, and she had to stop that last year because of some other issues. And she was all excited that he seemed to be supportive of all this, of her wanting to go back to nursing school. That's one of the reasons why he asked her to move in. The other reason was because her lease was up on her apartment, and she didn't really know if she was going to be, if basically the landlady just kind of, made it sound like she could not renew the lease. So, she moved in with this guy, and everything seemed to be fine. At least, that was what I saw. And I just went with the assumption, okay, this guy's the one. I mean, the first one that she was dating, Jared, never mind, we won't go there because, yeah. But, she was excited because she was getting ready to go and, re, um, re, re-enroll for school. And, pick up where she left off. And that he told her, he was all for that, that way she could save up her money and whatever. Well, no. Then, of course, then she got the car payment. So now it's kind of like she's really, really, she's depressed, one thing. The other is, she's really starting to doubt herself. And I told her, I said, don't do that. And I've been, giving her pep talks for the past couple of days, and I can tell that, I think it's helping, but until she actually leaves and moves out of where she is, because like I said, she's still staying there with him. And and he's the one that's letting her stay there, and she doesn't have anywhere to go. So it's kind of like, she can't go stay with her dad. So and I think until she is really by herself and in her, own a place, and starts getting her self-esteem back up and starts getting herself back to where she needs to be, I think it's gonna really, really take its toll on her until, this happens. I mean, I can tell that, I'm kind of helping, and some of the, how do I put it? Some of the wall that she's put up is coming down. So we'll see. I don't know. But, guys, just keep her in your thoughts, because she's having a really rough time. And she wanted to come up here and visit us. And he was going to come with her. And, well, that's not happening. So it's a lot for her to handle. So we'll see. Let's see what else has been going on. My goodness, it's really uh, let's see. Not really a whole lot. Um, oh, I do wanted to. This is one reason why I did the video this morning. I do want you guys to know that I am going to start be adding another video thing to my channel. I'm going to be starting to talk about, as you guys know, I love true crime. And yes, I know that there's another creator that's been doing this, and I just don't want her to think I'm copying. So Stitcherista, if you're on, please don't think I'm going to be copying you. I'm going to try to do something a little different, like, what she's doing. I've really, really gotten into true crime a lot. Don't ask me why. I think I became really, really I don't want to say obsessed, but I think I really got into true crime once I started watching gosh, Law and Order and all the Law and Order shows. And then I just kind of got into it. And then I started watching the what was it? The thing called, what is it? Mine Hunters. It's on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I watched it and I was just like, you know, and I've always, and I always kind of followed it anyway. Like, when they would always talk about, Ted Bundy and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, okay, this, don't ask me why. It just, it's interesting. Let's put it that way. I don't know how else to explain, you know, but, so I'm going to be starting that. And, I will be doing, diamond painting or whatever with it. And, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to start it next week. I haven't really, got that far. Because I was, and I think the other thing was started listening. I've been listening to a lot of true crime podcasts lately, and started watching a couple on YouTube, and I was just like, there's a lot of stuff out here that I didn't know. You know, now I knew about the Chris Watts one, but there's a lot of things and a lot of, ones I didn't know about. And I was shocked. And I mean, there's a lot of them that I did know about that I've been, looking and trying to look for on true crime podcast and whatever. And there's a lot of them that don't get covered. And I was just kind of like, wow. you know, I was totally, totally shocked. And so yeah, I'm going to be starting that either next week or the week after. I just have to, sit down and figure it all out. Because I took a vote on it in my live, and a lot of you, a lot of the people, a lot of you that were there voted for that. So I will be working on that, and I'm kind of excited because I tried this before, and I guess it was the way I was, the way I was bringing it out. So I'm gonna, try something different, see what happens. And but yeah, I'm really excited about that. I just didn't want people to think I was copying people, and so please don't think I'm just, doing it because somebody else is, and it's not. Like I said, I've tried it before and I didn't get a lot of views on it. So maybe now, people are more open to it, and I had y'all vote. So let's see what happens. So yeah. Now then, I'm trying to think. I think that's it, guys. Uh, let's see. I'm thinking because I always feel like there's something that I'm missing and I forget to talk about when I do my drill with me's, because and I usually write things down, but lately I haven't been doing very good with that. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. I usually write down, like, if something happens during the week, I write it down and what day it happened, so that way I know. But lately I've just not been doing that. So I'm trying to remember if there's anything exciting that I need to talk about before I sign off. Because I always feel like I'm missing something. And I don't want y'all to think, oh, she's just sitting here. No, I'm trying to remember if there's something I missed this week. I don't remember. And of course, you all probably hear my stomach growling, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make my stomach growl. I just haven't had breakfast yet. Let's see. Anything else I've missed? No. Okay, that's it, guys, for this week. And I hope everyone has a good week. And I will see you all next time. And have a great day.